Why billionaires and world leaders are all flying to Zambia right now. Something unusual is happening in Zambia. In just a few weeks, the country has seen a sudden spike in high-profile international visitors. Diplomats, business giants, global envoys, powerful regional leaders, and organizations that don't come here by accident. But why now? What is Zambia offering that the world is suddenly so eager to access? Is this about investment, geopolitics, natural resources, or regional power shifts? Today, we break down the hidden forces behind these visits, and what they could mean for Zambia's economy, politics, and its rising influence in Africa. Good day, viewers. Welcome to another edition of InspirAfrica Official. I'm Nakash. What a week it's been here in the studio. We've been tracking some absolutely extraordinary movements across the globe. And today, we're diving into a story that has the financial world buzzing. Our lead story tonight. Why are the world's most powerful billionaires and heads of state suddenly making pilgrimages to a landlocked African nation? Picture this. The private jets of Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos touch down at the same airport. Silicon Valley's most brilliant minds, armed with artificial intelligence and satellite technology, descend upon the red earth. Mining executives from London, Beijing, and New York scramble to book conference rooms in Lusaka. World Bank presidents make urgent announcements. European Union commissioners sign billion-dollar compacts. And all of this is happening in Zambia. But why? What lies beneath the soil of this southern African nation that has captured the attention of the world's elite? What discovery has tech titans abandoning their California boardrooms for the dust and heat of the Copper Belt? What kind of treasure justifies a $2 billion investment from men who could buy entire countries? Is this the beginning of a new gold rush? Or rather, a copper rush? And here's the real question that should keep you awake at night. In this frantic race for what lies beneath African soil, who truly benefits? The billionaires flying in on private jets? The government officials signing the deals? Or the 20 million Zambians who have walked over this treasure their entire lives? Many without electricity in their homes, many struggling to feed their families? What happens when artificial intelligence discovers what human prospectors missed for a century? And what does it mean when the future of electric vehicles, solar panels, and the entire green energy revolution depends on what happens next in Zambia? The revelation came to light in February 2024 when Cobalt Metals, a California-based mining startup, made an announcement that sent shockwaves through the global mining industry. The company declared it had discovered what they called an extraordinary copper deposit at their Mingamba project in northern Zambia, near the border with the Democratic Republic of Congo. This wasn't just any discovery. According to Cobalt's president Josh Goldman, this was Zambia's largest copper find in over a century. But let's rewind and understand how we got here. Cobalt Metals had begun drilling at their Zambian permit just over a year earlier, in early 2023. The company wasn't your typical mining operation. Founded in 2014 and backed by Breakthrough Energy Ventures, Bill Gates' Climate and Technology Fund, along with investments from Jeff Bezos, venture capital firm Andreessen Horowitz, and mining giant BHP, Cobalt represented something entirely new in the mining world. Artificial intelligence meets mineral exploration. The company had been using machine learning algorithms, satellite imagery, and vast databases of historical drilling results to create what they called Google Maps of the Earth's crust. They were searching specifically for copper, lithium, cobalt, and nickel, the critical minerals needed for batteries, electric vehicles, and renewable energy infrastructure. By mid-2024, as drilling data accumulated, the full scale of the Mingamba deposit began to emerge. Goldman compared it directly to the Kamoa-Kakula mine in the neighboring Democratic Republic of Congo, one of the world's highest-grade copper mines, which produced nearly 400,000 tons of copper in 2023. But the Mingamba discovery was only the beginning of Zambia's transformation into a global mining hotspot. In July 2025, the Zambian government hosted the inaugural Invest in Zambia International Conference at the Mulungushi International Conference Center in Lusaka. Running from July 16th to 18th, the three-day event gathered 500 local and international investors, business leaders, and government officials. The theme was ambitious: driving generational transformative investments through joint ventures and partnerships. President Hichilema, who had taken office in 2021 with a mandate to revive Zambia's struggling economy, used the conference to announce his government's bold vision to triple Zambia's copper production to 3 million tons annually by the early 2030s. Current production stood at approximately 850,000 tons per year. The conference wasn't just talk. By mid-event, the Zambia Development Agency had facilitated memorandums of understanding worth approximately 46.6 billion Zambian kwacha, roughly $2 billion. These agreements spanned energy, agriculture, and mining, with joint ventures between US-based firms and Zambian state utilities. October 2025 brought even more validation. Major mining companies announced over $10 billion in committed investments. Barrick Gold confirmed its $2 billion expansion of the Lumwana mine near the Congolese border was progressing ahead of schedule. First Quantum Minerals, Zambia's largest copper producer, announced $1.25 billion in brownfield investments to expand the Kansanshi mine. These weren't isolated incidents. The entire global mining industry was converging on Zambia. Let's hear from those at the center of this copper revolution, in their own words. Josh Goldman, president of Cobalt Metals, speaking at the Mining Indaba conference in South Africa in February 2024, described the discovery. The story with Mingamba is that it's like Cacula in both the size and the grade. It is Cacula scale in size and grade. What they've discovered is quite phenomenal. It is not just that there haven't been deposits like this. It's that there are more to be found. Here is Mingamba. And then where is the next Mingamba after this? This is the part of the world and style of deposit where we can find resources of this scale and quality, and Zambia provides an operating environment that is really extraordinary. President Hichilema, in a February 2024 interview outside Lusaka, couldn't contain his excitement. It won't be just the largest mine in Zambia, but it will be one of the largest mines in the world. Maybe one of the top 3 largest mines in the world. We believe it will produce well over, when it's fully operational, 500,000 to 600,000 metric tons. What they've discovered is quite phenomenal. There is a lot that we as Zambians can look forward to in terms of the announcement of their mine development, which should be coming on stream. At the July 2025 Invest in Zambia conference, President Hichilema addressed delegates with a message of reform. We have realized that government bureaucracies can weigh businesses down. So, we have established a presidential delivery unit to accelerate the resolution of issues that hinder business operations. Zambia stands out as the ideal destination for investment. Land-linked and strategically located in the heart of southern and central Africa. We also offer vast potential in agriculture, tourism, and energy, along with a proud record of peace, stability, and democratic governance. This conference must deliver more than dialogue. It must forge meaningful partnerships that translate into real investments, moving from potential to action, and from plans to results. Albert Hulwampa, Director General of the Zambia Development Agency, described the conference as transformative. Our goal is not just to attract investment but to anchor it in special economic zones, improve investor services, and ensure long-term returns. The agreements span critical sectors: energy, agriculture, and mining, aligning with Zambia's broader vision for economic diversification and resilience. Jito Kayamba, Special Assistant to the Zambian President on Economic, Investment and Development Affairs, spoke about the cobalt discovery. What they've discovered is quite phenomenal. There is a lot that we as Zambians can look forward to in terms of the announcement of their mine development, which should be coming on stream. But not everyone sees this copper boom through rose-colored glasses. At the Zambia Mining and Investment in Lusaka in October 2025, Paul Kabuswi, Zambia's mines minister, acknowledged past failures. We believe we have natural resources that can change the economy of this country. But years of repeated policy changes created uncertainty in the mining sector, which hurt investments. First Quantum Minerals CEO Tristan Pascal emphasized the unprecedented nature of current investment flows. The level of investment that the mining industry is now committing is the highest that we've seen in decades. The issue globally is not a lack of availability of capital. It is a lack of availability of high-quality projects, and where there are returns, there is capital. For a great project, there will be capital. Li Zhanyan, chair of the Chinese Mining Enterprises Association, speaking at the mining conference, revealed Chinese commitment. Chinese firms, which have invested more than $3.5 billion in Zambia's mining industry since the late 1990s, are planning to invest an additional $5 billion into the sector over the next 5 years. Finance Minister Sidimbiko Muzo-Kotwane outlined the economic stakes. Reaching 3 million tons would generate approximately $30 billion in annual export revenues at current prices, potentially eliminating our external debt and creating fiscal space for critical social infrastructure. The copper rush transforming Zambia cannot be understood outside the context of the global green energy transition. Copper has emerged as the indispensable metal of the 21st century. Every electric vehicle requires approximately 183 pounds of copper. Solar farms, wind turbines, charging stations, and the massive electrical grid infrastructure needed to support renewable energy all depend on copper's unmatched ability to conduct electricity. The International Energy Agency has projected a staggering statistic. By 2035, global copper demand could exceed supply by 30%. This looming deficit has sent copper prices soaring. As of October 2025, copper traded at approximately $10,887 per ton, up more than 20% for the year, driven by supply disruptions worldwide. A deadly mining collapse in Chile, flooding at major operations in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and production cuts across Indonesia's Graberg mine have all tightened global supply precisely when demand is accelerating. This perfect storm has created what analysts call a structural bull market for copper, and Zambia sits at the epicenter. But Zambia's story is not just about fortunate geology. It's about the redemption of a nation. Zambia defaulted on its external debt in 2020, becoming the first African nation to default during the COVID-19 pandemic. For years, the mining sector had languished under volatile tax policies and disputes between government and mining companies. Investment dried up. Production stagnated around 700,000 to 800,000 tons annually despite rich deposits. President Hichilema's election in 2021 marked a turning point. His administration implemented sweeping reforms, a sliding-scale mineral royalty tax that adjusts with copper prices rather than punishing producers during downturns, streamlined permitting processes, transparent licensing procedures, and crucially, political stability and consistent messaging to investors. These reforms have had dramatic effects. According to Bloomberg analysis, financial markets responded enthusiastically. The Lusaka Securities Exchange All-Share Index gained 56% year-to-date in local currency by August 2025, an 84% increase in dollar terms, nearly leading global markets. Yet serious questions persist about who benefits from this windfall. Approximately half of Zambia's population lives without electricity. Over 80% rely on traditional fuels for cooking. The country faces endemic poverty, with many communities surrounding mining operations seeing little improvement in living standards despite being literally surrounded by mineral wealth. Monica Ngambai, a resident of Chingola, the mining town sitting atop some of the world's richest copper deposits, told journalists, "I was born here as the nation declared independence in 1964. For 60 years, I have lived by the large copper mines. But as miners scarred the land to extract the metal, at times polluting water sources and destroying farmland, local people have reaped few of the benefits. Today, I don't earn enough selling groundnuts and cassava at the market to feed my family." This tension between resource wealth and local poverty isn't unique to Zambia, but it highlights the central challenge of the copper boom. Can Zambia avoid the resource curse that has plagued so many mineral-rich African nations? Some analysts express cautious optimism. The government's recent debt restructuring agreement with creditors includes provisions allowing for larger payouts if the economy outperforms projections, creating financial incentives to maximize mining sector growth while maintaining fiscal responsibility. The environmental dimension adds another layer of complexity. Mining operations require massive amounts of water, generate significant waste, and can devastate local ecosystems. The government has responded by implementing stricter environmental regulations, requiring comprehensive environmental impact assessments, water management plans, and mine closure strategies. But monitoring and enforcement remain perennial challenges in countries with limited state capacity. The geopolitical implications extend far beyond Zambia's borders. The United States views Zambia's copper boom as a counterweight to Chinese dominance in critical mineral supply chains. The Lobito Corridor project, a rail link connecting Zambian and Congolese mining regions to Angola's Atlantic coast, has received $250 million in U.S. funding, with support from the European Union, United Kingdom, and Japan. This infrastructure aims to provide an alternative to Chinese-built routes that have come to dominate African mineral exports. The competition for influence in Zambia's copper sector represents a microcosm of broader U.S.-China strategic rivalry. For Zambia, this geopolitical competition could prove beneficial, providing leverage to negotiate better terms and attract competing offers. But it also risks making Zambia a proxy battlefield in great power competition. The human element of this transformation cannot be overlooked. The mining sector has the potential to create hundreds of thousands of jobs, both directly in mining operations and in supporting industries. But these must be quality jobs with fair wages, safe conditions, and opportunities for advancement. Not a return to exploitative colonial-era labor practices. Technical challenges also loom large. Zambia's persistent electricity shortages have historically constrained mining expansion. The commissioning of the 750-megawatt Kafue Gorge Lower Hydroelectric Project provides some relief, but the government's target of adding 6,000 megawatts of generation capacity in the next 5 to 10 years remains ambitious. Water scarcity, particularly given climate change impacts, presents another constraint. The region experienced severe droughts in 2023 to 2024 that crippled hydroelectric generation and forced extended power cuts. Mining operations are water-intensive, and competition for limited water resources between mining, agriculture, and urban populations could intensify. Thank you so much for watching today's edition of InspirAfrica Official. What we're witnessing in Zambia right now is more than just a mining story. It's a glimpse into the future of Africa's role in the global economy. It's a test of whether resource wealth can translate into broad-based prosperity. It's a question of whether the promises made in Lusaka conference halls will materialize in improved schools, hospitals, and living standards for ordinary Zambians. The world needs Zambia's copper for the green energy transition. But Zambia needs something more valuable. A development model that works for its people, not just for foreign investors and local elites. As those private jets continue to land in Lusaka, as billions more dollars flow into the copper belt, we'll be watching closely. Will this be the transformation President Hichilema envisions? Or will it become another chapter in Africa's long history of extracted wealth and persistent poverty? I want to hear from you in the comments below. Do you think Zambia's copper boom will benefit ordinary citizens? What safeguards should be in place? If you're watching from Zambia, what changes are you seeing in your community? Share your thoughts, your concerns, your hopes. And if you found this documentary valuable, please hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the stories shaping Africa's future. Until tomorrow, when we'll be back with more stories that matter, this is Nakash for InspirAfrica Official. Stay informed. Stay inspired.